Welcome everybody to the finals. It's 32 Boys 1 Cup. This is a tournament that's been going on since October. It was originally meant to wrap up in the period of 1 month. We had some extended delays getting here to these finals, but they're finally here. We're finally going to see this tournament play out. Who is going to receive the trophy? I want to remind you all, we actually have a flippin' trophy to send out to the winner of this tournament. So, spawning here in the top left corner of the map, it's going to be the blue Terran player, GumiHo.
In the bottom right is the red Protoss player. He's Yoey Flash Wolves PartinG.
Alright, so we know for a fact that PartinG's TVP, his PVT, it's on par for where it needs to be here in the finals. He took down Flash. It was kind of silly, it was kind of stupid, it was kind of awesome all at the same time. And that's what Home Story Cup really breeds, like really fun games to watch. Whether you love them for their style or for their craziness, PartinG showed us a really awesome finals versus Flash. But the question for us comes to GumiHo. Like, what is he going to do this series? We personally have cast a lot of GumiHo, but it's always been TVZ. It's always been TVT. I can't think of a game where I've seen GumiHo's TVP recently. But at the same time, like, we don't really know how he's going to play. Like, is it going to be bio? It's expected. It's standard. But at the same time, this is a renowned mech player who may just have something up his sleeve. I mean, there's $2,000 on the line for first place. There's $1,000 for second, so nobody walks away today empty-handed, but I mean, that's a lot of cash.
What is King Sejong? So one of the more interesting builds we can see on this map is the two tanks. So usually you see it in versus Zerg, you can see it versus Terran, and you can technically see it versus Protoss. TY is actually a guy that he doesn't go straight up mech most of the time, so that mass Hellion thing. But he does do like tank pushes versus Protoss, you know, with bio usually, but still tanks, which are, you know, pretty unorthodox. I actually would be really pleased to see GumiHo like do that, you know, set up near the rocks, deny mining, deny gas for the Protoss, and then you have a good lead from that. But he looks to be going for a one base Widowmine drop potentially. No reactor on the barracks yet, so that's what I'm thinking.
Well, the two tank things I'm going to describe real quick, guys, is of course the one that comes out here by the rocks. And the funny thing is, when we see Terran players pull it off, it's usually accompanied by a bunker or two as well. But we'll just see how far he decides to go. Without a second gas, that's not exactly in the cards just yet. But yeah, I mean, the common openers for this include like really heavy marine pushes, but because he didn't go for second racks in the faster factory, this does look like it's probably Widowmines. So, you know, 6 marines a Widowmine or 4 marines to Widowmines.
Oh, they're both one basing it.
Well, PartinG going for Blink isn't that surprising to me.
Wind-based Blink is always a surprise, just because it seems not to be nearly as effective as it was, like, with, like, Polar Knight and stuff, but I don't know how this is going to work out. You know, one-base Widowmine drop versus one-base Blink?
Well, for the starter here, it's actually going to be okay. Normally, this Mothership report catches you quite off guard, but GumiHo with 3 Marines certainly has the DPS to deal with it. But should that Stalker have gotten there a little bit sooner, maybe that wouldn't have been the case. He actually follows up with not a second Widowmine, but a Hellion, and he's not rushing out. There we go. The medevac does come.
Okay, so, I mean, usually, like, a medevac drop on 2 base actually scouts most things you need to see on 2 bases as well. So does a 1 base drop let's see the Blink Stalker before it actually attacks? I don't know. Well, the Hellion might just jump in here. Right now there's a probe on that map, and the Hellion is running across the map as well, so they're both going to scout that there's an expansion. Well, of course, PartinG can't really say that for sure, right? Because it could have been on the high ground, but...
Well, I'm wondering, like, okay, so PartinG's tries to go for the 1 base. We saw him do this versus Intense, so we kind of joked, like, oh, maybe he's just doing this because it's a North American player, right? But obviously willing to pull this off against someone, I guess, equally Korean. I'm not sure if that's going to describe
equally
that.
Korean.
But, I mean, like, the point is, like, an equally notable, crazy, scary player, I guess.
Notoriable is a good word, man.
Shut up, look.
Notoriety plus noticeable.
That's what I went for my mistake, alright? Anyways, my point is...
It made sense to me, man.
My point is, like, this Blake worked against Intense, and I think a lot of people wrote it off because you're like, okay, he's just toying with someone who's way under him, but actively choosing to go against this first GumiHo tells me, okay, PartinG's a little more confident in this than I think we give credit for. With the... Oh, 1 Hellion here. Does this never get revealed? This could possibly run up here and cause some pretty serious damage.
PartinG, because he got an observer, is not bothering to defend his mothership core across the map, apparently.
Oh,
Oh, GumiHo is also going to go ahead and make a tank out of this as well. I'm not sure that was his plan to begin with. I would say usually not, but again, it's up in the air with him and the map. But it is going to be very helpful against Blink Stalkers. Now, without that observer on the other side of the map, here it comes now. PartinG, of course, had to wait for that before he could really start abusing Blink, and it did finish like 30 seconds ago.
This also going to reveal to GumiHo that there is an observer, though, and we've seen some people very diligent about just scanning for the observer and going for that, realizing that would cut out the damage, but Stalker's going to blink into a Widow Mine. Kind of cool positioning here. PartinG only sends one forward to be safe, but focuses it. Oh, still gets a shot off, though.
Oh, you never see that.
Tank does come out, and while it's not siege, I actually kind of like that it's not siege because you can save it with the medevac. Oftentimes, Stalkers get on top of this, it gets really scary. But this supply depot placement, though, Blink is on cooldown. This should have cost them a good chunk of his Stalkers.
Can't wait till that Legacy of the Void update, man. Raising those siege tanks on your medevacs. Oh, yes.
Yeah, drop and pick up. I'm just foreseeing a lot of friendly fire with that, TBH. Blocks out some of the SCVs there with the Stalker. However, they still get the surround. Man, GumiHo just barely thwarts this in every way.
All the the luck not going his way. Widowmine actually fires. Bunker actually gets saved. That almost never happens. I mean, usually you see one bunker versus a Blink Stalker, and you're like, okay, that's not gonna do anything. But with two tanks, a third on the way, a good marine count, and SCVs still available to pull and still be okay. Like, I think just barring any overstepping, I think GumiHo's won.
I want to say that too. With the tank out especially, we just see it doing so much damage with the Stalkers. That range on that is just monumental, but even though the bunker goes down, he's still got so many Marines to work with, and as time goes on, Stim will finish up. He's putting out 2 more bunkers. Tank still positioned here on the high ground. I mean, this is something that is all in from PartinG, make no mistake, guys. Oh,
he's gonna get Stim?
Okay, that's good. That's really good for getting back into this, but still, I almost feel there's too much for GumiHo.
Maybe. Mothership Core, what are you even doing? Why are you over there? Oh, well. Oh, good scan. Tries to get the observer. Did he get the observer? No! Oh, are you kidding me?
It sits there right on the south side, yeah. He puts it like back into the vision too, like I swear almost beyond, but just wants to get on top of the tank, realizing it was unsieging. So nice snipe there, like, PartinG. Again, a situation where I swear I thought like PartinG was gonna be so out of this. He's still making something happen. So many Stalkers are so low though. Trying to fight out the Marines best he can. Without Stim, GumiHo's just forced to stutter for best of his capabilities, but I don't know. The longer this goes on, the better it still gets for GumiHo. Even without Stim completing here, he's got to have a third tank out. He's gonna have a hell of a lot of Marines to buffer anything he wants.
Yeah, and this isn't a 2-base blink, so the warp-ins are never really all that impressive. The way that PartinG is controlling it is impressive, though. He is making one Blink Stalker work, despite being what I think was a very good defense set up from GumiHo. I just, it's 12 minutes now. Stim, okay, it would have been finished had it not been sniped. It just, the amount of units GumiHo has is going to win out.
I kind of feel like we're getting close to the point here where GumiHo might just be able to afford to go for a counterattack. But that tank position is too good. Shutting away at these Stalkers. Keep in mind, like, every SCV GumiHo loses, it's not really that big of a deal with 2 command centers and all these mules dropping too. So for the sake of this, like, okay, PartinG denies the gas, but there's another one down here. This mules just continue to drop, and there's so many siege tanks out. We joked about mech or not, but I mean, this is a great defense. Hang up, sorry. Gets on top of the tank yet again. Stalkers are taking some pretty crazy damage, but takes out 2 of the tanks. Biggest threat. But
I feel like we rarely see tank defense versus Blink Stalker all-ins anymore.
He's going to get the observer this time too, but the Mothership Core is here, so high ground vision hasn't been stripped. But I think the key thing here is the clock ticks as Stim researches. Once Stim's completed, then we're kind of in a situation where PartinG is probably done for. Still no Nexus at home, no real chance to get anything done. I'm really curious what happened with the Hellion, actually. I wasn't paying attention to it, just dived in, or what the case may have been, but tries to go for Stim, realizing that was the big decision maker. Lose the Mothership Core though, so no more high ground vision.
Still good blink control. It's like Stim would obviously just like end the game right here and now, but it's still going to be like, okay, slow Marines chasing Blink Stalkers, that's funny, but eventually Blink Stalkers are going to run out of places to run, and a counterattack isn't going to work either.
Well, we finally have Marauders coming out too. 3 more Raxes are thrown down. I mean, GumiHo, like, he knew that, he knows still there's no expansion down.
Yo, he gives up on Stim. Oh, okay. Yeah, suit seconds.
I think Concussor Shells would probably be better in this instance anyways, but this is just, I don't know, I love watching PartinG play, and I think his control has been absolutely fantastic. There's no questioning that, but it's not, I feel it's just a losing battle at this point.
Yeah, the supply depots are, I feel like at first it maybe was not intentional, but now it is. He built so many back there to stop the Blink Stalkers from just running around.
Yeah, the depot placement was